Namaskar. I'm Kumar Rakesh. You are watching Global Governance News TV. Today, we're going to discuss about the community, a class, a sector of the of global society. We can say like that, and they have already decided whatever facts are there, whatever documents are there, whatever history are there, but they will never change. You have to understand what I'm going to share with you now. The issue related to Parliament of World Religion in Chicago after 130 years. Sorry, how I am saying 130 years? You remember 1893 where Swami Vivekanand raised the issue of Sanatan Hindutva. I am not saying Hinduism. Mind it. After 100 years, 1993, again the Parliament World Religion organized in Chicago. And after 30 years, recently on 12 to 18, just last week, it already held in Chicago. It means 130 years. That's I told you, I shared with you. But there is so many speakers who are there from all caste, creed, and religion. I'm not going that. But whatever significant there, we have some posters in that exhibition. How they have raised the issue. We have two eyewitness who present were present there at the Parliament World Religion. I'm going to introduce you that so they will share with their experiences about that caste, that creed, that religion. Sorry, religion, only one religion on the earth, that is called Sanatan Hindutva. Sanatan Hindu is only religion, all are the sects. This is a documented evidence, research evidence. As we know, Sanatan Hindu Dharma is the oldest billion years old religion on the earth, the creator of the earth, as we say, Brahman. We have never find this word in any. I think they are a foolish person on this earth. Any so-called religion related in the name of just appeasement, whatever they claim, I never agree. Why? Because we have the much document, proof, papers, history record, despite of the all Mughal looters who had tried to destroy our history and culture in Bharat, in our Hindustan, in Arjavat. So let us introduce you to panelists. We have um, Bandana Jhinganji from Chicago. She was attended there. And Mr. Rutviz Bole, Director, Hindu Pact, living in Los Angeles, from California, were joined. And what will we discuss you? Before discussing, I'll show some posters. And on this poster, we'll check comment. And first our Rutviz and then Vandanaji. Just see the poster. Poster, it will say the story. As we know, one photograph is equal to thousand of words. But here you say, just you see the posters. What poster depicts Islamic monument under threat? This is the great lie of the world. This is the IMC, Indian American Muslim Council. What does it mean? This is a poster of Hindu organization in America. And just see, Qutub Minar, Taj Mahal, and this is a Gyan Bapi. Now we can understand the intention of the so-called sectorial person. Another photo, just you see. This is say all the poster Indian American Muslim. Shame on them. They are saying the Indian, whoever they concern, and see the poster. Babri structures. Court already decided the 497-year-old history, so-called history, archaeological survey, all documents proved there was no such masjid. But they are claiming now, shame on this organization, whoever IMC or office bearer. And here just spreading false peace, pluralism, and justice. Really nonsense. And third poster, just you see how there is so many posters, but I only try to show you both sides, they're standing. They understand, keeping the standing, they'll ruin the Hinduism, Hindutva, our, sorry, never. The million years, billion years old religion, culture, they can't, ever they are the ancestors, either the Khilji or the Aurangzeb and Babur could not do it what they can, because all the our RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat has already said all the Muslims living in Bharat, they are Hindus. This is the fact. Everybody knows. As we regard the Muslims of the Middle East, who just Abu Dhabi and just you say how the big temple has already constructed. Shame on that, the so-called Indian Muslims. This is a face on this issue we'll just going to discuss. So let us start from Rutvi's. How just you are there and how you felt it, how you uh, discuss it, do you talk to anybody, and how this is a false propagation they are going to. This is already fact of Taj Mahal. Book are there. This is already 400 years of before 880. The Qutub Minar was Vishnu Stambh, and Gyan Bapi was not a masjid never. Already the court and history and now new archaeological already going to prove there were the temples, all record history. So how, why they are doing this lighting? Repeat.
I'll tell you one thing, Jay. It's a very good question.
Just
And
little loud, please, please.
yes, so can you hear me now?
A
Yes.
little loud, please.
Okay, how about now? All good?
Very good.
That's
Very good.
good. Now you are so young,
Oh,
one. Yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So that being said, this Indian American Muslim Council, there is very little that's Indian about them. I mean, look, right? In India, you can support Congress, you can support BJP, you can support whatever political party you like, right? We have no opposition. It's a democracy. You're free to support. At the same time, though, there should be some level of pride within one's motherland, right? You have people that will.
Voice should be maintained loudly, please.
Yes,
Thank you.
there should be some level of pride within one's motherland, right? I'll tell you, there are people here that will support Congress. At the very least, they'll celebrate Independence Day, right? These Indian American Muslim Council people, even on Independence Day, their only agenda will be attacking BJP, attacking Modi, attacking Hindus and Hindutva, which to me makes no sense. I mean, if you're Indian, right, you can disagree with policies, but at the very least, show some level of pride in your motherland, and they don't do that. And I'll tell you one thing, even with all of this poster was somehow one of the lightest attacks we faced in that parliament. I'll tell you some other incidents that happened solely as a result of IMC, which, by the way, now it's very different from 130 years ago when Swami Vivekananda spoke. Now, IMC is one of the sponsors. The Indian American Muslim Council is one of the sponsors of this parliament. And so, at the behest of these Muslim organizers, they removed one Hindu speaker, Nivedita Bhide. She was scheduled to speak. She's a Padma Shri, she's worked for peace, and she was scheduled to speak on a panel about a conscience plenary, I believe was the name. Some activists came after her. They claimed she was pro-fascist, and they claimed she was anti-Muslim. When we checked her Twitter history, she had not spoken out against Muslims in any capacity ever. They claimed she was anti-Muslim simply because she had supported the Modi government, and as a result, they got her removed. Now, if you want to disagree with her position, that is completely okay. This is a forum where there's discussion that can happen. Let them come, let them ask her questions, let them debate. But no, they decide to silence her voice, and they tried to silence the voice of multiple
My
others.
question, sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Did you ask any concerned person about these posters? Why they made this? What concern? Without the fact, without the verification, without the certification, how they just stand there? They standing with the standing.
We tried very hard. I mean, it wasn't only me, right? I mean, people like me from Hindu Pact tried. Then after that, the Hindu American Foundation tried. The Coalition of Hindus of North America tried. HSS, the Hindu Swayamsevak Sangha tried. A lot of organizations tried to have a civil conversation with these folks, right? I mean, look, we're very peaceful people. We just want to discuss. And you know what they did? They refused to talk to us. There were some people on the ground that, were willing to talk with us. But what happened was the moment leadership found out, the moment Ajit Sahi, the president of the Indian American Muslim Council, found out we were talking, he'd come over, he'd say, no, you're not allowed to talk with these people. He'd make sure his people didn't talk with us. And even if they wanted to do something as simple as give out a business card, they were not allowed to. they were completely kept away from talking with us simply because people know that what they have written here is just complete and utter bakwas, right? I mean, Bharat, I'm not an expert on the area, right? I'll let you discuss that. But this idea that, somehow HSS, HAF, VHPA, even Hindu Students Council, it's a college organization that celebrates Diwali, Holi. The idea that they're Hindutva organizations is ludicrous. Please, Ji, yeah.
Yeah. So Vandanaji, do you think just with these posters, whatever organization name is also there in the posters, the Hindutva Organization America, HAF, HSS, and the VHPA and all, they have not raised any questions. They have not raised any queries how they made these posters.
Namaskar to all our viewers and to Rutvij and Kumar
Vandanaji,
Rakesh.
little loud actually. Voice is so low. I don't know why.
Uh, uh, I said good evening to Rutvij and Kumar Rakesh ji and to our viewers. As we talk about the organization Parliament of World Religion, I was physically present for 2 days in person. And as a journalist, we do have a responsibility. What I see, I must say that. It is not what I am saying, you see that. So I saw with these two eyes of mine, I captured that. Means this is itself very shameful when we are getting the booths, like an organization is having a booth. We should be glorifying our achievements. We should not be bashing, because if it is a booth of IAMC, Indian American Muslim Council, they should have been glorifying what their brothers are doing in France. I think that is the glory. What business they have got to talk about VHPA, what business they have to talk about ACAL, and what business they have to talk about Hindu Student Council, what business they have got to show about that HAF in bad lights. So this is itself is a biggest irony. I was very upset. I was very angry, I must say that. Because how could an organization that we being Sanatani take a pride in, where Swami Vivekanand came in September 11th and 1893 spoke Sisters and Brothers of America. And then after 100 years, they repeated the same convention in Chicago. And after 130 years, we go and see that this organization has been completely hijacked, to be very honest. They don't need to have, because there is another organization, because as we did mention, these are not the religion, these are the sects. We should always remember when we talk about like a Sikh religious society of Chicago, means like, they have their booths, they have been tying pagdis to people. When one of the volunteer from HSS went there, they said, which organization you are from? He said, I am from HSS. They said, we will not tie pagdi to you because you have blood on your hands. So this is like, we allow this on that platform. So itself, this is a question for the Parliament of World Religion to be asked. And another thing which is very, very important, I must say that Rutvij was talking about how the panelists, those who were, they have their own panel, they should be talking about that. Why they were not allowed? Because so this, when you're talking about the monuments, you are claiming yourself to be the Indian American Muslim Council, IAMC. What have you accomplished? You should have been showing that, not talking about us. We have not given you the right. So this comes a very big question to the Parliament of World Religion organization also.
That's nice point. Just you're well, just about already the Parliament World Region, whoever the office bearer. And now I think I was just saying the website. So Mr. Jain is now the chair on the Parliament World Religion, and but we'll discuss later. The time of break, after break we'll discuss how they allowed, why they allowed, what their intention, how our Hindu organization in USA were lobbying for them, why not they had countered accordingly and properly. Stay with us. This time of break. Welcome the break. Just we are discussing Ritwis. How just you are already working for the Hindu Pact. They're a nice organization, whatever trying to do the best for the Sanatan Hindu society. So how just you define how the other organization, why they did not counter this type of, so I think, illegal, so immoral about IMC, either whoever concerned, whoever just writing about the Babri structure already done by the Supreme Court of Bharat, decision already done. Ram Janmabhoomi temple is going to build and going to inaugurate in January 2024, and all the Indian Bharatiya Muslims are happy in Bharat. They have not raised any issue, not any concern. Who are the bloody nonsense Indian American who trying to raise the issue for what, I think, vested interest? How can you define?
I think I should point out first thing is that we actually did raise our concerns. I mean, I'll point it out on two fronts. First of all, this banner that you saw, it was HSS, I believe. HSS volunteers locally in Chicago went to the parliament, they complained, and they showed data that showed that, look, this idea that these organizations in the US are somehow Hindu fascist organizations is complete bakwas. We showed that, and this banner that you see here, the Hindutva organizations in America banner, was taken down. So I want to point out Hindu organization did counter. We countered there, and then we also countered at the ground level. I mean, here in America, right, we have a chance to talk with people of many faiths. So I had, Muslims come to me, I had Christians come to me and ask me, hey, look, what are they saying about this, Ram Mandir? What are they saying? What happened here? And I explained to them, look, whatever happened with the Ram Mandir, the demolition, you can think whatever you want about that, but you cannot fault the decision of the Supreme Court of India, which, even though that land, even though Muslims destroyed the Ram Mandir and built a masjid upon it, gave more land to the Muslims, gave 5 acres to Muslims compared to just a small amount of land to the Hindus. You cannot fault that decision of the Supreme Court. And no one in Bharat faulted the decision. Hindus were happy, Muslims were happy. Everyone was very satisfied. You did not see any riots on the street, and no organization publicly complained. So why are Muslims here complaining? Very simple. They are fully anti-India. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care what's true or not. They simply want to see India and want to see this, you know, Hindus collapse as a whole. And while we try to counter on the ground, as a whole, our protest, about trying to keep Hindu speakers on, trying to remove radical Islamist groups from the speaking panel, were ineffective simply because of a lack of money. We talked with the organizers and they said, look, what can we do? We need money. It's the Muslims that fund this parliament. If the Muslims stop funding this parliament, we don't have money to give, and the Hindus aren't giving any money for it. And so as a result, they said, look, you can say whatever you want. We'll take some
Okay.
action, but we can't do all that much simply because you aren't giving any money.
But do you don't think as an organization, I'll ask question also Vandana ji as a journalist and a political commentator, but do you don't think that as a organization Hindu Pact should send a notice to so-called the Indian American Muslim Council? How just did you raise this issue? Who already given the judgment by the Honorable Supreme Court of Bharat? One, how just did they raise already court in matter going on the Gyan Vapi Mandir? That is not a masjid, Devari masjid. How just you the playing with the fact and history and all the ethos culture about the Qutub Minar, whatever Vishnu Astham was there, history books are saying how just the Idgah, Mathura is how first Krishna was there and Muslim. You should go with the history. The already the Muhammad Pagambar Sahab already not more than 1,400 years old. This religion.
We've done
And
it, we've tried it.
2023, this is a Christianity. So whoever born before 2023, all were the Hindus. This is the fact. Nobody can deny it. Either you obey or not. Either you consider or not. But fact is fact. Fact can't be denied. So I think you have any plan to complain to the concerned authority as well as the IMC and either the World Parliament of World Religion. Do you have any plan?
Yes, Steve. Look, we've done it before, right? We've complained to IMC, we've asked them to talk, we've told them, look, what you're saying is untrue. They don't respond because they know they don't have a case. So they refuse to talk to us when we try in person, when we try over email. IMC refuses to respond. And as for the parliament itself, we put out statements publicly. Our legal director, Rakesh Rani, put out a statement in Religion News Service detailing how disappointed we were at the anti-Hindu bias of the parliament.
Okay.
And the thing is, so long as it is the Muslims that are funding this organization, so long as it's a radical group that are funding it, they're not going to change. So this is all a game of money.
I think they should not be spare like anything. Whatever your organization is doing the best. Vandana ji, what is your opinion? Yeah, did you talk any concern authority, either VHPA, either the HSS, either the so any brother sisters organization of the Hindu organization? What they are thinking, what they are planning? Any clue you have?
Ye- On that perspective, I may not be able to speak out something, to be very honest, because this will be done collectively. There is a meeting that they have decided that they will be talking about it, because this matter cannot be taken it lightly. And as I did mention earlier, we have to make sure, because they have pumped so much of money. When we talk about, if you are seeing the occupancy of the booths, like, how many Muslim organizations have their booths, and how many Sikh organizations have their booths, and how many Hindu organizations. But when we're talking about, if the organization says, so they have to live to the name, because they should be totally unbiased. If somebody is pumping in, like, sponsorships of the event, I'm going to means answer, you should not be selling your soul to the organization who has sponsored you, because sponsorship doesn't mean that you can do anything with that, because the basic principles and the objective and the mission of the organization should not have been compromised just me being the sponsor. That has what has happened now, because we are seeing it on a,
Okay.
and if we are talking in 2023, so what happens 2 years from now? I mean, like, are we changing the means, like, so this is a very big question to this organization, because IMC or SRS, these are just only one name, I'm just saying, but there are so many sister organizations of them. If we have this kind of, someone told me that we as a Hindu should be boycotting them. I said, no, boycott is not an answer. We have to counter them, because we are already 1.4 billion people living on this globe. This is not about an insult and humiliation to these, that VHPA. This is an insult and humiliation to each and every Hindu living on this globe, to be honest.
Okay. So I think so nice of you, both of you. Just you have raised the questions and you have just whatever seen, whatever analyzed, what you are thinking, what you are planning. I think this is our culture is Satyameva Jayate, truth must prevail. That should be come out with all the facts, with all the data, with all the history, and they should be replied accordingly. They should be sent a notice, either because they are Indian American Muslim Council. So they should shame on that. Whatever Bharat is doing, whatever India is doing in the land of law, court was done. They should slap the notice of the court, and this is our Supreme Court, just for the teaching. And no one has the right to interfere in any religion. No Hindu is going to interfere in Hindu religion, in any religion. No any history, no any record. Why just interfering in our home without asking, without permission? What nonsense they have been doing and then trying to do. As I think, we should be alert and no one allowed to enter our zone. And government of Bharat, government of India should also look into that. CCI in Chicago, they should also take notice of that what it has done for the sake of the country integrity and our just religion of the country, as I think. Thank you very much. Thanks both of you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Jai Hind. Jai Hind.